Hello everyone and welcome back. It has been a while, hasn't it? So I'm back and sorry if I was absent for a while. I had to go through a lot, there was a lot of things happening, but good news is I am back and this time I have more access to better gear. I have access to earbuds finally, easily, and IAMs, and I can do way more reviews and make more content. And as you can probably can tell, I have upgraded my gear and I hope I can make better quality videos too as well. So let's get right into this video, and today we have another earbud, flathead earbud to talk about, and that is this set right here on my desk. This is KBear Stellar earbud. And well, I kept seeing this on my feed in like AliExpress, and it would keep appearing, and it was so cheap. I believe the price was like €2.5 for me, like 3, 5. It depends on where you are. It's around, I'm gonna say the price for this thing is gonna be around $3 to $5, depending on where you are. And that is very cheap. And I thought, well, it's gonna be a thing that's gonna appear for a lot of people, and it's very cheap and it's gonna be very enticing, and maybe a lot of people will try it out. So I thought I'd purchase it alongside some other earbuds, and I do a review on it. And so, yeah, let's get started on talking about this earbud right here. So let's just cut right to the chase. Well, let's talk about the characteristics a little bit, the physical characteristics, if I can do this. There we go. It's very simple. Like, it uses this rubbery silicone, I think this rubbery cable. Some of these rubbery cables have this quality that leaves some residue on your hand, and your hand feels like a very frictionless. It's just a bad feeling, and I'm sensitive to that. It really annoys me. But yeah, this one doesn't do that, and that's a good thing. Like, some of them do that. Maybe that's just a age thing. It's not about the cable quality, but yeah, I didn't have the experience with this one. And quickly for the shells, it uses this. As you can see, it says KBear here, and it uses this Sennheiser MX500 shells, I believe, if I'm not wrong. So it uses these shells, and if I can just show you, yeah, you can see it's a pretty standard shells. And what I want to mention is that, well, I used to have the Anchor X6, and that earbud used to sometimes annoy me with the fit. It could get a little large, and it used the same chassis that this one does, but this one has never done that, and I feel like it's a little bit slightly smaller than the usual MX500 chassis. But yeah, no, that's just might be me. Maybe my ears have grown or something like that. So yeah, but this was very comfortable, no issues with it. And as far as accessories, yeah, it's €3. Like, it did not come with any accessories, right? It just, I believe, it came like in these plastic bags. If I could show you an example, like something like this. And yeah, I don't remember, maybe it didn't even come with foams, but yeah, these foams are cheap anyway, and you can purchase them for a fraction of like $1. Yeah. And also, I don't know if it comes with other colors. I'm gonna link where I got this, link it in the description, so if you want to look at it, it's not affiliated or anything. But yeah, I don't know if it came with any other colors, but I got this blue color, and that is really pretty. It has this dark blue, like this shimmery things on it. That's like really good looking, and that was just impressive for this price. I did not expect that, but hey, that's good. Wait, yeah, it's actually metal shell too. Yeah, that's good too. Okay, so let's talk about the sound on this thing. How does it sound? Well, let's start with good things. Good thing maybe, and that is the bass on this thing. Out of the other ultra budget earbuds that I've heard in this price range, this one was the bassier one. And well, let's set our expectations right. It does not come with any sub bass. Like, come on, even the expensive earbuds like have trouble and go through a lot to give you sub bass in an earbud format. So it obviously doesn't have anything, but it has a huge bump in the mid bass and the high frequencies of the bass. So it has a lot of bass in those regions, and that could be a good thing, because that would give a lot of like bump and like Like it sounds like bassy. What can I say? It makes your music very, very warm. It's huge. It's enveloping, and it's good. If it's fun in some songs, right? But it's not gonna be precise. There's not gonna be a lot of definitions, or like yeah, there's no details in the bass. But it's just a general warm sound signature over here that they were trying to go for. They somewhat achieved that, but I'm gonna talk about that later, where they fall off. But yeah, there's a lot of bass on this thing. No sub bass, it's mostly a lot of it in the mid bass and high frequencies of bass. And that's where it's become a really bad point, where the mids on this thing does not perform very well, because that bass really, really just blends in with the mids and just gives this huge boomy sound over the mids, and makes the mids very muffled. So yeah, and it just has a roll down from the high bass towards the. It doesn't have any rise up until the lower treble, right? So this thing, the mids on this thing sound really muffled, and there's not a good separation between the bass and the mids, and they just kind of blend together. And maybe that could be a good thing, because in some way it gives your male vocals very like a hefty, thick weight to them. But I mean, they're not detailed, so but at least hey, they have that thickness and weight, right? It's kind of a double whammy for it. And but the other parts of the mids, like the mid mids and the higher mids, they just like it's not really good. It's really muffled. It sounds really hollow, and it's always obviously always in the back of your mix anywhere. It's just pulled back on it, and yeah, that's not really good, right? But out of other like when I compare, this is gonna make more meaning to you. But out of the other earbuds, it's not does not have the most muffled sound, because this hollow and muffled mids is a very common theme between the other ultra budget earbuds in this price range, right? But this one is not the most muffled, so that's what it has going for it, right? And moving on from that, it does have a start. It starts to rise in the lower treble section, so it at least gives your vocals some presence to it, like again compared to some other ones. So it's not like the most non-present mids for it. And that lower treble rise, it's not the highest one. And I believe that like they kind of screwed that up, because if that lower treble rise was shifted back a little bit, that could have given the mid some kind of better presence and better details, more clarity. But maybe they couldn't achieve that, or maybe that's just was not their goal. So it's very much later, and there's just small rise in the lower treble I can sense. Obviously there's no graphs for this, or at least I haven't seen any. I didn't even look for it. There probably isn't. But yeah, I believe that there's some presence in the lower trebles, and that makes it so that it's not completely dark, right? You can hear some treble presence, like those hits on the snares and the cymbals. You can hear them, but again, that leads me to talking about the rest of the treble, but that's just make them sound really hollow. And like these hits and the treble sounds really watery, splashy, and yeah, there's no like attack on it. It's very weak, but hey, at least you hear the treble, hear the hits on it a little bit. And at least one thing that this thing has going for it is that it's very consistent, right? It just kind of starts to roll down to oblivion from the lower treble to after that. So that makes it be like a dark presence, dark tuning for this thing. So I believe that's the general sound signature they've been trying to go for. And there is some small inconsistencies in the higher or mid or high treble, but it's generally it's just kind of dead after that one. So again, the treble sounds like very hollow. Again, those cymbals and snares sound really hollow, but hey, at least you can hear some of the attack, some of the presence of them. So that's why, like, you can see the theme in this review is that it has the bare minimums. Mids are not great, but it has the bare minimum for it to not be so bad. Treble, well, you can hear it somewhat. There's somewhat of a presentation on it, but it's not really good. Bass, yeah, it's okay. It's bass, but it's just not separated well enough from the mids. And so, but you might feel like, well, I'm not gonna get this. It's completely shade. It's not really, because you can enjoy your time with this thing. And my experience was that when I got this thing alongside other budget earbuds and I lived with them, I hadn't had an experience with like higher quality gear for a while because I hadn't had access and life and stuff. But when I got these things, I was actually impressed. Like for €2, yeah, that's not so bad. And actually, after that, for a month, I got used to other better gear stuff when I got my hands on them, better earbuds. So, and when I went back to this thing last week to readjust myself and do this review, I found this thing to be really muffled and really muffled and hollow. While a month ago, I did not see that at all. Like I did see it, but it wasn't like really that exaggerated for me. And so like that brings up this question of like really how much of it is subjectivity? Is it, should you look at it in the isolation of itself, like how good it sounds, how enjoyable it is by its own in its own world, or you could just see that there's a market and there are many other options here. So yeah, that's my point, is that there's it's not a bad set. Actually, like yesterday or the day before that, I was listening to this thing for an hour. I was listening to my music and I was actually enjoying my music. It has this warm sound signature. Sure, the mids are not there, but for some music that works. And it's fun, it's actually enjoyable. It's not the worst thing. I'm saying bad things about the mids and the treble, but hey, I was actually able to enjoy my music, and really, especially the bass was really hitting. And if you're like just want something warm to relax, one thing for sure is that it does not fatigue you at all, because it doesn't have any shoutiness in the mids and the treble. So it's really good for that. And yeah, it was actually okay, and that's why I titled this video. It's the bare minimum. It has the bare minimum things that you wanted to have for you to have a good experience. So I guess I could recommend this set if you want something that's just like, it's like €2, right? If you put into perspective, it's okay for that price, right? But if you can just like add a little bit on it, there are obviously better options out there. All right, and yeah, there's nothing to talk about the technical performance on this thing usually, as we do, because yeah, there's like basically level 0 of technical performance. There's no like separation. Even if it had good technical ability, you're not gonna hear it with a bad tuning, right? So yeah, there's not much. Obviously, as all earbuds do, even the shittiest ones, this has some sound stage. Like obviously it has some sound stage, as all earbuds do. And yeah, that's it. So, but before that, let's do a little comparison with what I have over here, which is this set. This is, as you can see, these are the Vido buds, the Vido buds blue, and as you can see, it looks very similar to the KBear Stellar, right? And that's what I want to say. Like, I believe there's a small market down here in this very cheap earbuds of this Vido buds clone, because these are like old Vido buds. They used to exist, and yeah, I'm gonna do a review on this after, so stay tuned. But what about the difference between these two? Well, between these two, if you want something in this price range, definitely get the Stellar. I don't know if there was an issue with my set, but this does not sound good. As much as this thing, like, I said this is muffled, but I said this is not the most muffled earbud. This was the most muffled earbud. The mids are even worse over here. There's no, that rise in the lower treble here, it just doesn't exist here. And the treble after that, it sounds hollow and peaky at the same time. It's inconsistent. It's really hollow, and there's a huge dip and a huge rise right after. And yeah, this is not good. And the cherry on top of that is that it doesn't have the bass performance of this thing does. So yeah, not really so good. If you're between these two, yeah, go for this thing. This thing at least has some enjoyment. I was not able to, when I was listening to this thing, I was never able to enjoy my time with this thing. It was just way too hollow and muffled with the mids. No, not good at all. Nothing good to say about it. But I do want to say that out of all the ultra budget earbuds, this thing is the bassier one. and but the general sound signature they were going for, I get it, but maybe they didn't achieve it so well. But I do want to say that if you fix some of the flaws of these things, separate the bass from the mids a little bit with, like give some clarity to the mids, uh, give it again, fix the issue with the treble so that it doesn't sound hollow, you will have something like this, right? This is the comparison I'm gonna make, and this is the FAAEAL Iris 2. This set actually sounds really what this set wanted to be. It's actually, this has a warm sound signature to it. I'm sorry, it has a warm sound signature to it, and yeah, again, this thing wish to be like this. And yeah, if you want to get a warmer thing and something like this, that this kind of sound signature that you like, you should go for this FAAEAL Iris 2, right? Yeah, this was a set that, of course, it has some problems and flaws of its own, but it's going to fix a lot of things with this thing and achieve actually a good sound signature that's really, really enjoyable for just a little bit more. Maybe, I don't know, I bought this for 5 or 6. And yeah, again, I'm gonna do a review on this thing as well too, so stay tuned, subscribe and like, please. That would really help me out. So yeah, there's a lot more earbuds that I have to talk about, do more reviews. So if you have any questions about this thing, any other like a comparisons that I didn't make, because there's a lot of other options in this price range that I don't even have. I haven't even heard. I believe there's a nice HDK traceless. They're all kind of a clone of a Vido buds. So yeah, let me know if you want me to compare, if you want me to check something out that's really good. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. Obviously, I read all of them. And I suppose I will see you in the next video. So take care, and until next video, goodbye.